and Kit.
Hello.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you're Grant and Kit?
Yes.
I'm Grant and... No, wait.
No, Grant and Kit, and I'm Kit and Grant.
Oh, Kit and Grant sounds cuter.
Yeah.
I imagine a little kitten that has like a goatee and looks a little bit like Kavinsky.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we've all agreed that the episode started then.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
we
I
can't
guess...
cut that gold out.
We must be rich tossing around all this gold.
Yeah. Yeah, so hey guys, this is why shit's so kawaii, right? And
Yeah.
with usually just Max and Kit. But now, this week, special guest, Grant.
Hello.
Grant's voice sounds deeper on a microphone.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's usually such like a little pretty boy.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
But
Yeah. So hey, what's up, you guys? Oh, and by the way, before we forget, this week we are reviewing Sawabaruwo.
yeah. Sora No Woto.
Sora No Woto.
Yeah.
Which is sounds from the sky.
Yeah, Sound of the Sky.
Sound of.
Kaon Goes to War.
Yeah,
Chaos
Chaos Goes to War. Alternate title.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I thought it'd be smart to invite Grant onto the show because not only is he like really adept in everything kawaii, but he's also a really big fan of this show, and so I thought he could provide a little bit more insight than us bumbling idiots.
Yeah. I'm not counting on it. But,
I'm glad you have much faith in me.
no,
Maybe
it's just I'm really impressed with myself.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But no, the Kawaiians might like him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I bet they will. He'll be a good foil for the two of us.
Where's,
And we'll,
where's the Hawaiian island?
It's not an island. It's a state of mind. So, what did you guys do this week?
I'll go first. I've been in the middle of 2 leases, so I'm staying with a friend this entire week, and moving's a pain in the ass. I just want to give up all my material possessions. But yeah, no, it's like I thought I didn't have much stuff. Like I don't have any furniture. I just have like books and crap. But of course, moving took like 4 hours, and I felt like I'd been murdered by the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I took care of that, and then I've got to move all the stuff out of this place into wherever I move into. And I might even have to move like another time in between that, which would be really, really frustrating.
Well, don't take everything out of the boxes.
Well, I'm not, like, even just everything in the boxes. It's like, I've got a lot of boxes, I guess. Like clothing, I got like a mini fridge. It's a pain in the ass. But I've been staying here, and so by and large, it's been a lot of sleeping on the floor and playing Basura 4.
Yeah, I've gathered the box apart.
I like how you're complaining about all the food and clothing you have.
Yeah, I know. I have a place to stay no matter what, and it just sucks.
Yeah, I know, it sounds awful.
Yeah.
It always seems to be rich white people who say they're trapped by their possessions.
Hey, man. I do what I can. We're making a podcast about cute anime. Give a fuck.
Fair point.
Hey, Grant, how about you tell us what you did?
Let's see. Today I didn't do a whole lot of anything. I watched some other animes, and I packed my stuff because I'm currently staying at a friend's house, and then we're leaving for Fort Walton tomorrow morning.
Yeah, what animes you watch?
I caught up on... Actually, did not catch up. I'm one behind on Captain Earth. And I watched Tokyo Ghoul, which I caught up on, which I like a lot. And also watched, Nozaki, whatever Kun thing. The one about the manga artist. And
that looks real bad to me.
What?
Yeah. I've been hearing really good things about Tokyo Ghoul, but
Yeah.
but no whatever. And
Yeah.
that was like harem bullshit, right?
No, actually not.
No,
It's girl likes the dude, and the dude has no idea, and no one else is really involved.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
All right, you watch it and keep us abridged. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I will.
outside.
I've been watching Mystery Inc.
I looked at it and did not touch it.
I hear that it gets pretty good, but it's actually kind of strange because they made Fred's character really obsessed with traps. Like he makes a lot of traps,
Okay.
and he just loves traps. And Daphne keeps trying to like hook up with him, but like he cares more about traps than women, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, this seems like a little bit of subtext. And then in the first episode, they're like, man, we have to dress up. No, they're like, we have to get some women to infiltrate this business as baristas. And so they dress up Shaggy and Scoob as women. And I'm like, wait a minute, this seems like you like traps too much, Fred. And so one of my friends said, maybe it's not subtext. I'm like, it can't not be a big joke.
It can't not be a big joke. There's no way.
But yeah. And so that's pretty much what I've been watching. Go on.
I love Mystery Inc. I actually love that part of Fred's character that someone just watched all the old Scooby-Doo shows and was like, fucking Fred always wants to make a goddamn trap for the monster at the end. And then made that the basis of his entire character.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a lot of fun.
That sounds about right.
But also, there are a couple, let's see, Steven Universe, I'm getting off track.
Yeah.
There was like a leaked Steven Universe episode that was really good. But,
Yeah, because I don't watch this legally.
But what you could watch legally, more Avatar, more Korra, which the newer Korra episodes have been fantastic.
I haven't seen this week's yet, but it remains good.
It is stellar.
Yeah, great. I'm excited.
But the other thing that I've been really, really excited for is Gravity Falls came back with its second season.
Sure did. I saw that first episode.
And the second one actually came out on Disney XD or something. But yeah, it's really, really good.
Oh.
I read an interview with Alex Hirsch. I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name, the creator of the show.
Yeah.
And he was saying the whole thing that he wanted to do with Gravity Falls to make it interesting and unique was that most cartoons he saw were just 11-minute formats. Mm-hmm. And that pissed him off, kind of.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of cartoons just kind of, they do this status quo thing where he calls out SpongeBob for this, where one episode something might explode, but then the next episode is just rebuilt and no one talks about like what happened last episode. He said he felt like maybe he was spoiled by more adult shows because he was like, you don't have to pander to me as a kid. I understand that there's continuity. And so he thought like he imagined that the reason that no one did like 20-minute shows that are plot segmented for 20 minutes, because even the shows that like lasted for 22 minutes were just two 11-minute episodes essentially, or like two sub-arcs essentially. He figured it was just because people were lazy. It's like no one has the balls for it.
Yeah.
But whenever he actually started doing it, he was like, oh no, it's just super difficult. Because you're on such a time crunch, you don't have much funds.
Yeah.
And so, but no, that's what he's going for, is doing something that is completely like 20-minute setups.
Yeah.
He also said he was really inspired by how like Harry Potter and Pokemon, if you give kids like a reason to memorize a billion names and like family lineages, they actually will.
Yeah.
Like kids aren't stupid.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea is, well, I can make a show that's interesting and intelligent and smart.
And then put like ciphers at the end of every fucking episode.
Yeah. Put keys how to fix them and stuff. It's great. Although the interesting thing about that is that I feel like if they ever make an animation error,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Man, it's gonna be it's like super hell on them, because inevitably the fan base will call into thinking that it's actually canonical. Just because they had such an attention for detail, I guess, in the show.
Yeah. That's true. I think that's a lovingly crafted show. So many little like touches, and every time they show text on the screen, it's always more than you can read, but it's always very meticulously written.
Yeah. Also, the newest episode of Space Dandy, which I told both of you to watch.
I watched last week, but I haven't seen this week's yet. Yesterday.
The one that came out yesterday?
No, the other one where there's the Beverly Hills.
Yeah, the High School Musical episode of Space Dandy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I watched like 2/3 of the one that came out yesterday. I was falling asleep during the other third.
Yeah, the High School Musical Danny episode was hella good.
Okay. It was alright. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. It was chock full of like 80s and 90s references.
It was. They had E.T. and Slimer at that school. It was pretty decent. You know what I did a little this week is got super stoked on two things coming out of San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
New season of Venture Brothers coming out.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
And even more than that, the Mike Tyson mysteries.
Wait, what?
I'm so stoked.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I showed the preview to Pat, and Pat was like, "Max, you didn't tell me you were writing a show for Adult Swim."
Brandon said, "Oh man, this looks like it'd be fun, but it'd also be a stoner show."
Yeah.
He's like, "Damn it, Adult Swim always making all this stoner trash."
Is Mike Tyson going to be the actual voice actor for Mike Tyson?
Yes, okay. Mike Tyson's done interviews for the show.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah, America's most lovable convicted rapist, Mike Tyson.
The truth, though.
The ghost of the Marquis of Queensberry, the man who invented modern boxing, who's played by Oscar-winning actor. No, he didn't win for acting, but Jim Rash, who's the dean in Community. Mm-hmm. His adopted Asian daughter, and Pigeon, the talking pigeon, voiced by Norm Macdonald, my favorite comedian.
What?
It looks like a really stellar show that you'll really enjoy, Matt.
I know!
It sounds like he's already enjoying it. It's not even out yet.
Yeah.
It's just blowing my mind.
The previews for it really sold it on me, so I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm super stoked on it.
Looks like a really fun time. Looks like it's got a lot of the vibe of Venture Bros.
Yeah. It's what I really like about it, and I'm so glad you just watched Mystery Inc. I think it has exactly the same art style as Mystery Inc.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive.
Speaking of Mystery Inc., actually, in art styles, they're going to do another Scooby-Doo, and the art style looks terrible, and all the stuff they talk about it sounds like absolutely horrible. And I think it's secretly because they realized they couldn't top Mystery Inc., and so they thought maybe if we just make such a stinker, the next show that we make, by comparison.
So that might be the only play. But
has anyone ever used that tactic and then admitted to using that tactic later?
Coke.
Yeah. I don't know. But what was I saying? Oh my God! Speaking of Mystery Inc., though, so Mystery Inc. is over now. I think, right?
Yeah.
It's canceled.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons and that's it.
But
it's the longest Scooby-Doo apparently.
Really?
With 52 episodes.
That's interesting. But anyways, but they've been making movies, like Scooby-Doo movies, using that art style and continuity.
Right.
And I saw one on Cartoon Network the other day, and I can't believe it fucking exists. It was like a Scooby-Doo World Wrestling Entertainment crossover.
Yes. The best scene. There's a part where there's a boulder coming down to kill everybody.
Yeah. And
John Cena jumps out and pushes out of the way. And it like just like the image of John Cena like jumping onto screen while it goes like, oh yeah, like plays his theme. It's like da 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 da, and like wrestles the boulder off the cliff.
So he throws off that. He did something else later, and then he waved his hand in front of his face like an asshole, and was like, "You can't see me."
Yeah. That's John Cena. I actually can't stand John Cena. I watched something you guys both might not know about me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of WWE.
I think you've told me.
Not anymore though, but I watched a lot with my friend Matthew back whenever I was still in Baton Rouge. And what we would do was we would put it at 1.5 speed on my PlayStation. Like he would go and he would record the pay-per-views or whatever, or he would get like a rip of them, and then we would watch it at 1.5 speed. And it like and so like it actually played out sort of like they were actually fighting. But then we likened it to like redneck anime.
Yeah.
There's all these characters. They get flashbacks. It's shonen as fuck.
It really is, though.
Yeah. Pretty much it's redneck anime. That's true.
Yeah. My favorite moment, though, is I really like the character Rey Mysterio. He's like a luchador. Right?
Yeah, we talked about this, actually. We talked about the arc for Rey Mysterio I wanted to write, and I would want to write with you.
Yes, please. But the running joke is like I kept expecting Rey Mysterio to explode out of people's chests.
Yeah.
Because he's like very small and compact, and I think it would just be a great visual. Like, you know, Kane shows up and the Rey Mysterio explodes out of him.
I wonder.
But obviously, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I wonder if we could approach World Wrestling Entertainment and say like, hey, we want to do a comic book. We want to do a Rey Mysterio comic book where he never talks and he has adventures.
Yeah. Whenever he gets hurt, he makes these like really like loud cat noises, and we my friend and I we imagine that it's just him calling upon like the feline gods of wrestling combat to aid him in his struggle. But no, my favorite plotline, though, and I say plotline because there are plotlines, is basically the Undertaker is like quote unquote like knocked out or put in a coma, and so Kane, who's supposed to be his brother, is looking for the wrestler who knocked him out, who like cold clocked.
My favorite part of the Scooby-Doo movie is when Scooby and Shaggy wrestle Kane.
Also good.
Yeah.
But so the whole thing ends up being like the Undertaker's actually not knocked out, and Kane's just using it as an excuse to beat up a bunch of people. It's like what the actual plot is.
I think I actually tuned into an episode where that was like the plot, and then the Undertaker came back just randomly.
Yeah. And like in real life, like the actual guy who plays the Undertaker had like personal business to take care of, and so they had to explain why he wouldn't be on the show for a while. But anyway, so the culmination of this is essentially at one point he decides that Rey Mysterio was the one who did it. And so like he wheels out like this huge coffin, and it's supposed to be like the Undertaker's in the coffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, if Rey Mysterio explodes out of that coffin, I will like, I don't know how much dick I'll have to suck. I will cry. Like, it'll just be best. But he didn't. And so it made me really sad. But he challenges Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio looks like really upset because he's constantly portrayed as like a hero within the WWE. So like he never does anything like evil or wrong. He's usually there like fight. Like, he doesn't fight underhanded, so on and so forth. Like it's like WWE is ridiculous. Yeah. And so he calls out Rey Mysterio, and he says he tells Rey Mysterio he's going to throw him back into the because they're like wrestling like near the border. That he's going to throw him back across the border, like into into the sea, back to where he came from. Which is already ridiculously racist, but it's hilarious. So they're wrestling, and at one point, Kane picks him up and carries him out of the stadium. There's the body of water, like right there. Like he carries him to the water, and then Rey Mysterio pulls some crazy luchador shit and kicks him into the water. And, like, the best moment is Rey Mysterio's just on the beach, like, and Kane's just in the water, like, looking dumbfounded as shit. and that's whenever I knew that, like, no other moment in WWE would ever top that for me.
But have you ever heard that story about that guy whose character was a Russian wrestler?
Yeah.
And he got a ticket, and he refused to... He got a ticket on a way to a wrestling match. And he refused to break character, and he got arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, I read about all kinds of wrestlers who never broke their personas. Yeah, I think that Russian guy, like, actually, like, dedicated to that shit and changed his name and did all kinds of crazy, insane, like, lived under this wrestling persona for several years.
like wrestlers are like Fred Willard. They just went into character and never left.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I watched the Truman Show again.
That's alright, right? I remember that being okay.
Yeah, it was still pretty good. I hadn't seen it since maybe high school or something, so it was fresh for me.
Sure. Grant and I went to an anime convention.
We did.
Oh yeah. You guys went to what was it?
MechaCon.
MechaCon, yeah, and down in Louisiana where there aren't very many cons.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. There's cons all over the place up here in Ohio. It's ridiculous, but I guess we're gonna be white people.
I think we only have MechaCon, and is Anime Matsuri in New Orleans?
I don't think so. We have there's Louisiana in in Lafayette.
Yeah.
Is that any good?
No.
It just got off its feet, so
it sucks real bad.
It's like baby's first con.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I went for a day this year, just because, Lafayette, whatever. It's not that far. And no, it was just lame. I, screwed around for...
I bet $100 Greg Ayers was there.
That might be true.
Greg Ayers has transcended physical form, and now he just exists at every con. To not only talk about his voice acting career, but also about how terrible piracy is.
Yeah. I just went to a bunch of panels, and I knew more about the panels than the people giving the talks at almost every one. And I was just sitting there fuming, God damn it, why do I gotta be so smart? Yeah. Except one guy was a really interesting panel. It was such a fucking random panel. It was alternate history tabletop role playing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I went to that.
Explain how that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was just one guy, and he was talking about how he designed a couple of alternate history tabletop role playing games. And halfway through it, I realized I own one of his games.
It's great.
I own his Gaslight D20 game somewhere, and I was like, man, this is so weird because I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. No, that was kind of fun. I don't know. He just talked about how you should what you should do to design an alternate history setting, and I wanted to have him talk about. Choosing systems for alternate history games. He's like, fucking, no, I don't care. I just picked whatever people playing, so it sells more copies. I was like, yeah, that's reasonable.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually will be going to Gen Con, speaking of tabletop games.
Yeah.
And this is really weird, because I guess I've only gone to kind of, smaller events, quote-unquote. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing I've ever gone to had, 3 or 4 floors to it. Mm. But Gen Con, I was surprised. I didn't know this, but you had to buy tickets for the events as well as for the con.
Yeah.
So I thought after I'd already dropped money for a hotel and for a ticket to the convention, 3 days pass or whatever, I'd be gravy. I could just go places. Yeah. But no, apparently, not only I could do, they run games and stuff, but... and that makes sense that you had to pay money for it, but just panels and stuff, because I guess so many people go, you need to get a ticket, and so I'm looking at spending upwards of another $50+ on tickets so that I can attend the con that I already paid for.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, Otherwise, I guess I get to like walk around the hallways and see people in cool cosplay. But you know.
Yeah. At MegaCon, I just beat down a bunch of fools in Soul Calibur 5, which I still don't own. But it's still better than people at. I don't know, because I got real good at 4. But yeah, no. So you should really enjoy Gen Con for me, because I've always wanted to go, but I've never gotten the chance to.
Yeah, I had some friends that said they were going, and they invited me, and so I thought to myself, yeah, why not?
Yeah. You gotta eat at that Pathfinder cafe.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, it's stipend-wise, it looks like I might be broke. So, it depends. I'm trying to get money from various sources. I'm doing stuff for money, so...
Prostituting yourself. You're looking for cheeseburgers.
Hey, man. Man's gotta eat. Oh, man. Oh, God. But anyway, talking about like alternate history.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Sora No Woto? Or?
Sora No Woto.
That's science fiction.
Yeah. No, it's an alt history. where the war gets ridiculous.
Which war?
And the war between the German-speaking, Japanese-writing people and the French-reading, Japanese-speaking people.
Yeah.
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 That nonsense.
In Japan, but on the border of Rome.
Yeah, yeah. In the middle of Eurasia.
I gotta love that setting.
Yeah. I know, it's amazing. I really feel like they're just like, that's cool, let's put it in.
I read that the Sora No Woto was part of some like kind of like mission statement by whatever I forget. Who made this show?
A1.
A1.
Yeah, it was part of it. It was part of a initiative to make original anime not based on light novels or manga or anything. So just like let the creators do whatever the fuck they want.
Okay.
And they made this.
That would explain a lot, actually.
Yeah. I think Code Geass actually might have been part of the same initiative. I forget what it's called.
Maybe. It's got the same, like, it's not based off of anything.
Yeah.
It's just original video and whatever. But, yeah, I was surprised, actually, that this was A1 and not KyoAni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blew me away.
It blew both of us away, actually.
Yeah. And I think it actually... I was reading about the guy who did this. I forget his name already, because it's a Japanese name, and I can't remember Japanese.
Yoshiaki Megami.
Yeah. And he had, like, done... Like, the only thing I really, really recognized from him is he'd done storyboards and directed episodes of Cardcaptor Sakura.
Didn't he also do some of Lane? Or not Lane,
So he did do some Zero.
Openly.
Yeah, he did. I think he did some Zero Expanse. No, maybe it was just Open Line. He did. He wasn't the creator of that, though. He was just... Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So that's pretty cool, I guess.
Good old Masamune Takemoto.
Yeah.
Doing God's work.
Yeah. So let's just say our general broad thoughts on this. I kind of liked it. I liked it. It was pretty good.
I'm giggling over the fact you said broad thoughts.
There are quite a few broads.
Yeah. Show about broads. No, I kind of liked it. I liked it. I thought it was cute. I got choked up at moments because that's what I do.
That's nice to know.
I don't know.
Really, I like the show.
It was cute girls, and so I can talk about in a minute why I think the show's effective, and I think it's just really manipulative. But it does have some themes.
Certainly so.
But it has some themes. And I would say the themes that are important is living with loss and making do with the world you're given, which are really the same theme. There's the micro theme of dealing with loss and the macro theme of the world has lost so much. How do you live with that loss? It's the same. And I think it does that okay. Like, because Princess Girl,
Rio.
Yeah. No, Princess Flashback Girl.
Oh, Princess Flashback Girl.
Yeah. Ilya.
Whatever her name is. Yeah, that's it.
Ilya, yeah. Because that's the loss everyone's that's the person everyone's mourning, right?
Yeah.
And it's people dealing with that specific loss. But I have no connection to that, right? You don't feel that. What you're feeling as you watch the show is realizing that their world is our world and sort of kind of feeling weird and getting that sinking feeling as you see. Like, in one episode, they, like, offhandedly mentioned that nothing lives in the ocean anymore. And I was like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, that was pretty great. They're just like, yeah, there used to be things in there, and now there aren't. And I was like, oh, that's the way to put it.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought in the grim future of mankind, there's only war.
Yeah.
In the grim darkness of the 40th. Yeah.
whatever they're alive.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like it's a show that's about unity and the power of Amazing Grace.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's a show about how powerful Amazing Grace is.
It's a pretty good song. Hey, let's talk about Amazing Grace and the place it plays in this. So it was the song Ilya was playing. It's the song everyone remembers Ilya playing, right?
Yeah.
That song is a metaphor for memories of the people you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was shared across both nations.
Yep. The song was a memory of our lost civilization too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It brought all those juggalos together. Can't even hold it. Music, man.
All the juggalos.
Yeah. We can all be in one place without any fighting. That's how great music is. Miracles, everyday life.
I like how juggalos think standing next to each other and not stabbing each other is a miracle.
Yes.
Also, Pelican ate my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I forgot that part.
People's kids look just like them.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Right.
But no, moments.
Yeah.
Moments. Yeah. They got me. Like, I really enjoy like how like whimsical and cute it is, of course.
Yeah.
But like there were serious moments that like I guess mirrored the situation really well, where characters are just living this kind of carefree life.
Yeah.
Like kind of like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then shit got really real. like having flashbacks to when that corpse talked to you.
Yeah, the corpse talking was what I was thinking.
Or alternatively, whenever the blonde chick, I knew all their names at one point.
Felicia?
No. Yeah, Felicia. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Felicia cuts her hand.
Oh yeah. And then like all the blood comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's real like disgusting and violent very quickly.
Yeah.
But then like people get shot.
Yeah.
Like war is hell.
Yeah.
I like to think that this takes place somewhere in the Warhammer 40k universe. Actually.
I already said that.
Yeah.
That was my joke.
I know you're referencing. You said in the 40. Anyway, listen.
Yeah.
Let's not say whose joke it was, and if I should have brought that up earlier. Okay, let's not get into that.
All right.
Let's get into this show being about cute girls at war, and how fucking crazy it was when in the first episode, she went underwater, and there was a big goddamn bird monster there. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's really the moment, I guess, where you're watching the show and you're like, oh, that's a cute little like religious practice thing, like that's really interesting. And then there's bird demon monster corpse.
Yeah, just sitting there in the ocean. You're like, oh, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty real.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets you that way, though, right? Because you have to... Cause at that point, you're like, well, this is a fantasy setting, right? There's no bird monsters. And then later, you realize that all the names of the things that we are familiar with.
Yeah.
What are those bird things? What are those bird things, guys? Grant, what are the bird things?
What?
What are the bird things, Grant?
What are they called, or what are they...
What are they? Tell me about them.
What?
You suggested this show. Why were there bird things?
The giant bird thing?
Yeah, the monsters that destroyed everything in the past.
Oh, wouldn't that be like the ravages of war?
No. Yeah, I know. Why were they giant bird monsters?
What?
What happened in our history, in our future history, to make giant bird monsters appear and fucking destroy our civilization?
Other than war?
What do you mean other than war?
Yeah. Dude, I think it's a war machine.
Yeah.
You think they were, like, genetically engineered bird monsters?
Yes.
I mean, gotta be. People had super tanks. They had spider tanks.
They had spider tanks, so they have bird planes. Come on, man.
I mean, like, yeah.
Goddamn laser birds?
Yes. Yeah.
That would be really cool. I would totally want that.
Man, that's the kind of shit that gets the world ended. I wouldn't pick laser birds.
No Man's Land. I think it's called that.
Yeah. I don't understand how laser birds make deserts. There are a lot of holes in the mythology, I think.
Well, shit got fucked up.
Yeah.
Real bad, okay?
Pretty bad.
Real bad.
We're 1,000 years after that, though, right? That's the story? Well, because wasn't that legend supposed to be from 1,000 years ago? That they hugged the angels?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
They
that.
hug the demon and our angel, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
But it was all a metaphor for... Or I guess it was all parallel to what happens at the end.
Yeah.
And so that makes you question whether or not the original story was metaphorical, or if there was actually demons and shit.
Well,
but then, like, there's a giant bird corpse.
There's a giant bird's corpse,
Yeah. So the story at the end was that the story... Well, actually, we'll say this first. The story they tell at the beginning is there's a giant bird monster 1,000 years ago that was wrecking fucking everything. It kidnapped 5 maidens, put them in a maze, God gave them a horn, for no reason. It didn't do anything, I'm pretty sure. They cut off the monster's head and started, like, blazing on fire.
Yes.
And they took turns hugging it until it went out.
Yes.
Yeah, pouring water over it.
Pouring water over it. And the festival where they throw colored water at each other is to, like, remember that time.
Yeah.
Water colored like fire.
Yeah.
I will note. In the end, you find out what was probably the real version of the legend, which was probably closer to the thing that happened in history, was this bird thing, like, was hanging out in that valley. It was injured. Probably shot by spider monster tanks.
Yes.
Right? 5 ladies, like, took pity on it, tried to heal it. And the town just burnt down the valley.
Yeah.
Yes. So... The water festival was not...
There's some stuff about angels, right?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter.
Okay. But I mean,
well, the bird thing would be the angel.
I know the bird thing. It's the goddamn bird thing.
It was supposed to be like their enemy, or at least it was a perceived enemy that was sent to them. And like they took pity on it regardless.
You tell me why it's important it's an angel or a devil.
Because it changes entirely... Well, because the original thing was that it was just this demon that existed. And then they went and kept it from ruining shit. Mm-hmm. And so it glorifies these girls.
Because the original story is the story of self-sacrifice. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the second story is instead about these people that were able to overcome like this kind of like this war between these angel figures and them, like the humans or whatever, and instead were able to like show pity and mercy and unite, I guess, despite the differences.
Yeah, and that looking back, people were able to realize their mistake and call it an angel.
Yeah.
rather than a demon.
But it was a big goddamn bird monster, though.
Yes.
And it was
whatever.
legitimately destroying the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
townspeople completely vindicated in burning down a whole valley. I think. is why I didn't think I cared whether it was an angel or a demon. Because there were big fucking bird monsters we had to fight for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's not that important for me. The point was, it was a story essentially about... The festival was about mourning the loss of the people they killed without just cause. And it became a story about self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, Kit, you tell me, do you think at the end of the story, were the actions that happened actions of self-sacrifice, or actions that were thrust upon the characters? Was the world the actor, or were the characters the actors?
Man, that's too heavy for me. I can answer simple questions like, do you want some chocolate ice cream?
Well, do you?
The answer is yes.
Alright. Grant, can you answer my question?
So it's whether the actions at the end were...
What the characters of the show, or what story is more apt? Were the characters self-sacrificing? Or were they martyred, essentially? What was her name? Purple, blue hair chick?
Rio?
Rio. Was Rio a victim of townspeople, or was she a martyr? At the end.
I mean, I would say that she definitely did that out of her own choice. I think she definitely agreed to herself, at least, that it was the best decision. I guess then I would definitely turn it, maybe not to self-sacrifice on her part, but on the other crew with Kanata and them in the spider tank. I think that was more out of just actions thrust on them, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
kind of like a split.
With sudden bad guy at the end. Right?
Yeah, with sudden bad guy at the end, and they had to do something
to prevent war.
Yeah.
Which I will say, sudden bad guy, one of the weakest parts of the show.
Yeah.
That guy came out of fucking nowhere. He's like, I'm the problem now.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking enough about the protagonist, actually, Krauser.
Yeah. Krauser.
Klaus, you mean?
Not Krauser.
Krauser.
Definitely Krauser. So, the guy that I'm staying with, we were saying, like, fuck yeah, Krauser. And he's like, actually, it sounds like his name should actually be Klaus. And I'm like, look, I don't care. You say it, and it sounds like Krauser. That's how these nips are saying it. That's how I'm going to say it, okay?
But yeah, so we already talked about the end, I guess. I'm not going to talk about your nips. I'm sidestepping the nip.
Can we talk about the 11s then? And how it's Krauser? Krauser's great. I loved his art, though.
Yeah, no, I liked his art too.
His art was really good.
But let's talk about the girls. Tell me, Grant, why are these girls so cute? Why are they so quiet?
They perfectly embody the different aspects of Moe.
Fucking great. I can't wait for this dissertation.
Kanata is the most just like cute. It personifies the cute ditzy side of Moe, whereas twin-tailed Azusa lookalike girl, can't remember her name. Who is that?
Is it Kureha or something?
Yeah, Kureha occupies the lightly tsundere aspect, lightly enough to where it's not annoying, but to where it's cute. It's definitely not annoying. It's definitely cute in that aspect because it only comes up infrequently. Right. And then the Mugi lookalike, or Felicia, occupies the just generally very sweet woman with large breasts, and because that's a thing.
The maternal figure.
Yeah, the maternal figure. Yeah, and then Rio occupies the tomboy area. They're pretty generic stereotype characters, but they're done well. So.
What about Noelle? My favorite.
Noelle's the what is it? The dere or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the quiet one, doesn't speak much, but when she gets excited, she's adorable because she is adorable.
I actually liked her in the episode where they were carrying all the bags, Because she wasn't adorable. She was just fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty great.
Yeah.
I also like the entire subplot where they were all mafia members.
Yeah, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That was okay, yeah. I like how it was never really important that they were, like, illegally brewing apple cider in the basement.
Yeah, it was just kind of referenced, and then it was eventually brought back when they had that whole war about it and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the joke that we were going to roll with was we didn't know how many episodes were OVA episodes.
Yeah.
That were on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know which ones you've seen.
I've seen 13 episodes.
Okay. We watched 14.
There's technically, like... No, there's, yeah, I think there's technically 14.
Yeah, because there's 7.5, which is the OVA.
Yeah, what happens in that one?
That's the, where they have the war. The little war.
So that's where they all get drunk.
Yeah, and they all get plastered drunk.
Okay.
It's actually really funny because it's, like, referenced in episode 8. Because they're like, how'd you find out about this in reference to Kanata? And she's like, well, and they don't say anything. So they're like referencing the OVA, but the OVA wasn't out until like a year later. So they already knew they were going to do it. And it's just like this random reference that doesn't make any sense.
Artful.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, actually. Yeah, okay, I guess I should watch that? I don't know.
Yeah, all the girls get drunk and then they shoot each other with super soakers. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty great. And Noelle makes a Gatling gun.
And then they all, like, because they're so drunk, they dramatically play out their deaths.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's pretty great.
That sounds okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's all come up with, like, at the last moment so that they can avoid letting the church woman know that they're actually smuggling alcohol.
Yeah, so their plan is to get her plastered drunk on it, in the form of tea. Quotes around tea.
Yeah. Sure. No, that's pretty good, I guess. I don't know. I guess I wish I saw that. I didn't know it existed until just now.
Yeah.
But, man, so can we talk about that talking corpse? Because, that was a moment in the show where I was like, man, why is shit so kawaii? I was thinking that could be the name for, like, our series of horror anime.
Yeah. That could be okay. Oh, speaking... quick aside. Before we continue talking about the show. Something I did this week that I wanted to bring up earlier was I read Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley.
Mm-hmm.
Seconds? By Brian Lee... He wrote Sky Pilgrim.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I think I want to make you read that, and then we can do a little mini episode on it.
Mayhaps.
Yeah. Called Why Shit So Aside.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah. Alright, but I'm sorry. You can go back.
I think... Okay, cool. I got an aside for you then.
Alright. Oh, great. I love Why Shit So Aside. This is gonna really work out for us.
Yeah. So a lot of people went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. It just came out, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to hopefully see it sometime soon.
Me too.
But a lot of people said that they were expecting it to be a very fun romp, and that they were going there for all the Ugachakas. Then they came out hooked on this feeling. All right, that's enough.
Cool. I guess that's cool.
Yeah. It's a little bit too more, like it's apparently a pretty emotional film.
Oh, yeah.
That's the joke.
John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly is a serious, dramatic actor. Was eating Gilbert Grape. He was good in that. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Dead Corpse.
Dead Corpse. Yeah, I thought that was jarring and out of place.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not out of place if you actually believe in ghosts in real life.
Yeah, which most Japanese people do.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
Yeah.
Stupid ghosts. But I thought it was way out of place. It made no sense. But I was like, oh, that's right. Japanese people believe this shit.
Yeah, I saw it more as kind of like she was just losing her mind. Some PTSD kind of stuff.
But the ghost gave information that she should have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
crazy what the PTSD does to you.
Glimpsing into the abyss kind of moment.
So you're saying it makes more sense that she, in her madness, gazed back through the veils of time
Yes.
than that being a ghost.
She realized things that she never knew that she never knew. Yeah.
I did enjoy when it randomly decided that it would move.
Yeah. At first it was just talking to her, and then it moved.
That was creepy.
Yeah. And it was really high quality.
Yeah, no, that was a good scene.
A lot of time in that.
They put a lot of time in that jaw move. That one singular jaw move.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But also, let's talk about how manipulative the show is.
Yeah. So you mentioned.
Oh yeah,
that.
you mentioned the Ego Boy.
So here's why the show's real smart. Is because they made like a moe ass show, right? And they want to give you a show about loss. So they got their hooks in your otaku asses, right? They're like, oh, look how cute these girls are. Aren't you having fun adventures with these girls? I'm making hook motions with my hands that aren't carrying through very well.
Yeah.
And
imagine you look like a mantis.
I do. Actually, I'm thinking crab.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's a very specific envisionment of your animal.
Sure. No, yeah, I was doing crab motions. Anyway, so they got your hooks in you, and then they're like, we're going to take one of these girls away from you. Deal with the loss. Yeah.
I currently have a Chiweenie attacking me.
A Chiweenie?
It's a combination between a Chihuahua and a wiener dog.
That sounds like the most annoying dog.
Oh, man. I hate small dogs.
It looks actually less. It looks less dumb than a wiener dog or a Chihuahua individually, which is surprising because they both look silly. But it actually looks not as dumb as either one of them.
It's just I overheard this show about how like dog breeding was like this manipulative white person kind of thing that made all these arbitrary divisions between dogs and bred them a bunch.
That's bullshit. Right? The Japanese bred dogs.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people breeding dogs, but it really doesn't matter. Just get a dog, right?
Yeah.
Is the ultimate message of this. But then my response was, no. With a superior race, if we want to breed them to be cute, why not? I guess this is where we differ, me and, like, you know, the apologists.
Yeah. No, man, we should be able to breed cute dogs if we want. They should have all kinds of hip problems. I shouldn't have to give a fuck because they're dogs.
I don't care. I can shoot the thing between the eyes when it's done. What do I care? It's a accessory, not a living creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The more it gets, the more it gets like a jewelry piece.
Get into Paris Hilton territory, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I hear if we get into Paris Hilton territory, we might stumble upon No Man's Land again.
It's true. That was just a dog. That was a designer dog. We cracked the code.
Yeah. But realizing that like most of the world was completely like annihilated.
Yeah.
How about that?
Man. It's kind of like, oh, well, that sucks. Not too excited for that world.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, no, that's they want us to feel it. They want to make a show about loss. So they're like, let's do an apocalypse thing.
Yeah.
But you'll still have fun. So that's the message, guys.
They did a really good job of making it feel like it wasn't an apocalypse until quite a bit later, and then you kind of realize just how awful everything was.
Well, but it's not awful, right? Because they still have glass factories.
Yeah.
And there's war, but there's war now. You know.
Yeah, it's
saying
not,
you can live even if things get worse.
Yeah.
And enjoy life even if things get worse.
Seemed like a optimistic and more kawaii version of From the New World, Shinsekai Yori.
Actually,
I haven't fished Shinsekai Yori yet. Hey, kid, you want to do a Shinsekai Yori episode? Force me to finish that shit?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that.
Eventually. I mean, I'm fresh on it, so
Yeah?
I just have to watch the last couple episodes, and then I'll be done too.
Neat.
Yeah, I was watching it recently again with a friend of mine
Ooh.
who was in town.
Neat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, from what I've seen of Shinsekai Yori, I don't think the show's interesting in Shinsekai Yori. Because the whole point of that show, my favorite hook in that show is that you're learning about this culture they live in, and it's really about what kind of society is stable given certain kinds of rules, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Whereas, it seems Post-apocalypse and Sora No Woto is just kind of like, well, let's go back to how we used to do things.
yeah, let's just live on cobblestones now.
Yeah.
That sounds like the way to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I feel is a little bit more realistic, although they're different worlds, really.
They're very, very different worlds. I just wish there was more big bird monsters that I could have saw, and then they shoot it with a fucking tank.
Yeah.
Hey man, spider tanks.
Yeah, man.
Tank goon.
Now it'd
Yeah.
be cool if they lured birds into like valleys kinda and jump on it with spider tanks. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty rad.
I love your contributions, Grant. But no, Grant, you really enjoy the show, so I guess takeaways from you, like why is it?
Why do you like it so
Why-
much? Why did you suggest it to us? You think this is one of your favorite shows, right?
I think y'all can all guess number one reason.
Is it because the shit's really kawaii?
Yes, cute girls.
Okay.
Number two, I really enjoy the post-apocalyptic aspect of pretty much everything. I enjoy pretty much everything that's post-apocalyptic, actually. I don't think there's been a thing that's post-apocalyptic that I haven't liked. I just like that concept. And it's just because it kind of gives you more freedom to change things and make them just that little bit more different. That makes it, exciting, new, and it also allows like everyone to kind of do their own spin on the same thing, but they're different enough to where, you don't feel like, oh, it's just the same shit again.
That's an incredibly nebulous answer.
Relatable but different.
It's like the same but more different.
Yeah.
But so, I read somewhere that people like post-apocalyptic scenarios because they feel like the world is ending and they have a lot of anxiety about that.
That would not be my reason.
And it's a way for them to work through it. And yet other people still like post-apocalypse scenarios because they are bored with life. And our world full of conveniences has just led to a malaise for them. So they would like a world where things are simpler and crueler and more brutal.
Actually, I might be a little bit on that side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. I kind of like post-apocalyptic stuff. Kinda. I don't know. I like Mad Max a lot because they're like sawed-off shotguns and mutants.
Yeah.
I like cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, pretty much.
No, I feel that way.
Yeah, because I like cool shit. Is why I like post-apocalyptic stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's neat. It's a neat show.
So Max, you say you like the Western aspect of post-apocalyptic things?
I do. I love the Western part of post-apocalyptic.
Here's this world that is like savage and explorable, but also somewhat relatable.
Yeah.
And badass.
Yes. No, exactly. Exactly.
The rule of cool exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I like about post-apocalypse, which this show didn't have. So I guess it didn't really even feel like that much of a post-apocalyptic show, besides the points in it where you are meant to feel anxiety about the world ending.
Yeah. No, I think Sora No Woto actually it did an interesting job of making it their kind of reality without playing it up too much, if that makes sense. Kind of like earlier Adventure Time episodes.
Sure.
Where it's just like, yeah, this is where we live, whatever.
Yeah. but not like later Adventure Time episodes. Where
it's like, oh man, here's like a bomb, and we have to go look through post-apocalyptic sewers to find ancient artifacts, which are generators. No.
Yeah. It wasn't very heavy-handed. It was done well.
But I don't know. I like Adventure Time a lot.
I love Adventure Time too. It's just that's heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's got a shift in
tone and story style. But that's okay. It can. I don't care. It's still good. Let's see.
So you're gonna watch. I guess we're gonna watch Fist of the North Star then.
How long is Fist of the North Star?
Fucking like 200 episodes.
Oh, fuck that, dude. I can't handle that. I can't handle it. If you gave me a year to watch that, I couldn't watch that. Like, I would just, like, burn out.
Yeah, that's why I haven't.
I had dinner with someone last night, with Eric, actually, and his girlfriend, two of his girlfriend's friends. And one of these girls was telling me that she watched every episode of Detective Conan.
Oh, God.
I was like, holy Christ. Holy Buddha Christ.
I mean, like, I've seen all of Universal Century Gundam, and that's only, like, roughly 300 episodes worth of content.
Yeah. Fucking Conan's, like, 750 episodes or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like a year's worth of watching television.
Yeah.
It's
sickening.
Is it that good?
It's Japanese Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
It's a very repeatable formula. It's a detective show.
Yeah,
so it's new episode, new mystery, new stuff to do. I don't know. I feel, but returning to Sora no Woto. I don't feel like I have that much to say about it. I think I also like the cute girls. I'm gonna have to cop to that.
Yeah.
They're cute.
I don't. That's not enough to carry a show for me. But I found them very endearing and likable. I especially like Tank Girl.
Noelle.
Yeah, Noelle. I like her arc. I think she has the most interesting arc, which is that she's I have no idea.
Scientist.
She's a mad scientist who's like trying to repent in her own small way for essentially making bioweapons.
Yeah.
She was like adorable Moe Albert Einstein, and then you felt real bad about creating she's Oppenheimer. She's adorable Moe Oppenheimer. She says, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Death.
Death.
So I really liked her best. Who's best girl?
Yeah.
Who's best girl, guys?
I was having this conversation, actually, about what makes a character. And, the idea is like, well, is she really like this murderous character, right, as shown in her past, who, like, created all this horrible technology that murders people? Is that who she really is, or is she really, or is that, like, is her current lifestyle, like, a change from that, or is it a cover-up of what? And I'm like, man, it's postmodernism. All of it is who she is.
Yeah, man.
It's all performances of self.
For real, bro.
And that was the moment where
where you quit postmodernism?
No, where I was just like, postmodernism is such bullshit. It lets you get out of. I say bullshit. It lets you scurry around never having to make really decisive decisions on things by being inclusive, or I guess not inclusive, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sure. But don't sidestep the question, kid. Who's best girl?
Oh God. I mean,
Grant, you answer first. Who's the best girl? I'm sure you know already.
I'm also torn between Twin Tail Girl.
Okay.
Can't remember her name.
Kureha,
and the Shrine Maiden.
Oh yeah. I do think she's funny, and that there's this joke that she makes really ugly clothes for kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And her dream is to be a clothes maker. It's great.
That is funny. I thought I don't think the show is that funny, but I thought that was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Krauser best girl? No.
Man, might as well just go for it.
It's a toss-up between Krauser and Tank Kun. No, honestly, although I like what is her name, Kanata or whatever. Yeah. Katana, but not. But she looks too much like what's this guy? She looks like the girlfriend from Welcome to the NHK.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yamazaki's girlfriend looks too much like her.
Yeah.
With the same hair and everything.
Yeah.
No, but no, I like Felicia. She's best girl.
Right. Well, you guys are wrong because Noelle's best girl. But
Noelle's also great. Noelle's my second after Krauser and Krauser.
And at the end, guys, she was like, she is supposed to be a beautiful bride.
Yeah, I know, that was adorable.
That was adorable.
That's super adorable. I'm surprised she didn't write "repent for my unrelenting sin."
No, beautiful bride. That's how you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Japan knows what they're doing.
They do. If I would have written it, that's what I would have had that scene be, and then everyone would feel real awkward and bad.
Yeah, all the other girls are like, "I want to fly kites."
And just like redeem for irreparable damages to mankind. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's real cool." Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Grant pointed this out. And this is a trope that's a lot of cute shows. But every time anybody tastes something, it's either oishi or umai.
Yeah.
Okay. I never picked this up.
Oh god! Every time.
The only two words they know of to describe food that tastes good.
Yeah. So, pay attention next time, a cute anime girl ever, drinks something that's going to taste good or eat something. Put them in the mouth and go, oishi!
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I was watching Blood Sea with a friend.
Alright. How is that, actually?
I like the show for a lot of reasons.
Yeah?
I've watched Blood Sea, haven't I?
It's the one that gets real brutal.
Yes, I've watched that.
How long is that? Maybe we should do it for the show. We need to continue making a list for things to do for the show.
It's 12 episodes. I think it's 11 or 12 episodes, but then it gets capstoned by a film.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you really need the DVD version or whatever because the TV version is censored to all hell.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the most brutal show that I've ever seen. it's consistently brutal.
Alright.
People getting torn apart and stuff. But the thing that I was saying that I like, that show actually has a parallel to this, in that there's a very cute style. In fact, they had Clamp do all the designs for it.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Which does a really interesting contrast to how absurdly dark and brutal it gets. And so you can kind of buy into this cutesy reality that's actually false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel like this show is doing a little bit, but not to the extent that.
No, I don't think anything.
What See's all about, setting up a kind of a fake reality, which is the show that you are watching, that masks the fact that there's horrible demons.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anything tops that in that way.
Yeah, in the animation style, serving the effect of here is the way that you're looking at reality.
Yeah.
But there's a more profound reality behind that. But I feel like a little bit of that was going on in Sora No Woto.
Yeah, I think that's true. But there were cute anime girls, and there were people getting shot, but I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, the suffering and the pain and the history and tragedy was real, but then you have this very cutesy layer over it that you prescribe to and buy into, I guess. That helps you distance from that, if that makes sense.
I think it does the opposite. I think the cutesiness is so we project onto it, so we feel it more profoundly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it lets you. It makes you you're okay, I'm watching this cute show, and so whenever the really dark shit happens, it's more.
Yeah, it's sudden contrast.
Yeah. But it does set up like that kind of that interesting duality that I like a lot. But yeah, speaking of Blood Sea, so the other thing, I noticed in every episode of Blood Sea, there's like or at least the first couple of episodes, there's a very, very strident kind of arc that every episode takes. And part of that arc, one thing that happens in a lot of these episodes is that the main character, she stops at a cafe and has some food at the cafe, or like a cup of coffee. And without goddamn fail, at least once an episode, she's going to drink this fucking coffee and then say that it's oishi. And there was one time where like she picks up the cup of coffee, drinks it, and she's like real bummed out for some reason, and puts it down. And I'm like, oh man, maybe that. And then immediately, oishi! And then later on they eat cake and they call it oishi keiki.
Yeah, yeah, that's also horribly annoying.
I'm so done with this shit. But yeah, why shit so kawaii? Because all food is oishi. Yeah.
I don't know. You guys want to do final thoughts on this?
Yeah, sure.
Grant, do you have anything else you want to say about this? Because I've been sort of intermittently harsh on the show. I say I do enjoy it, but I feel as though it's very it's a show of great artifice. It's artificial. Which is they're like, I'm gonna get all the Moe archetypes. I'm gonna slap them into this base, and they're gonna have wee fun time adventures. Yeah, but I know it's gonna get them. And then it's a show about loss, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know. I felt manipulated, like the whole time. The whole time I felt manipulated.
Isn't that the purpose of media, though?
No, the purpose of media is to do that to me, and then I don't feel it the whole time.
Ah, okay, I get you.
Yeah, there has to be like a boundary there.
Yeah.
I was watching Welcome to the HK with a friend, and I realized how much that's a show you need to watch on your own, just so that you can have that moment where you reflect that you are the weird nerd watching anime on your own instead of hanging out with friends. You just can't replicate that by watching it with a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking about shows, manipulating people.
Yeah.
Kit, how did the Japanese creation story come up when we were watching?
Oh man. Yeah, we were going to talk about that because it's real neat. They were talking about some of the lore in the show, and
yeah, we were talking about how things are just kind of pulled from everywhere, and none of it really made any sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was saying that the little sculpture they had of a shrine maiden looked a lot like a summon from Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
She's like a character with a sword standing on top of 3 skulls or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is Shin Megami Tensei shit. And then I further reflected, man, this takes from a lot of different mythologies.
Yeah.
And so then we started talking about the Japanese creation story, which is whack as shit.
It is. It's fucking
Do tell.
So I'll go up until a point at which I'll let Kit do it because he remembers the underworld scene better than I do. So it's Izanami and Izagami.
Okay.
I think are the two main overlord gods of everything. Izanagi is the dude and Izanami is the girl. I might have that flipped, but
yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, so Izanami Izagami. Jesus Christ.
It's Izanagi and Izanami.
Izanagi. God damn.
Yeah.
They're way too
fucking Japan.
Okay.
Nagi and Nami.
Okay, the guy or the girl?
Of semi-solid area, and he's just like, I'm going to take this spear, swirl it around some, bam, land. So they go down to this land that he just created, and I believe they describe at some point the water being like jellyfish or something. It was weird. So they go down, and there's a pillar on the land, and they decide that they have to circle the pillar once or twice, and then the girl talks to Izanagi first, and then they have kids, and then they're like, these kids are awful, and they put them on boats, and they send them away. And then they go back up to heaven, and then they come down back onto the island, and in heaven they decide that the problem was the woman talked first. So So they go back down, they circle the boulder again, and Izanagi talks to Izanami first, and then they have kids, and they're like, oh, these kids are okay. So eventually they keep having kids, which are gods, and they'll become different gods and whatever. And then eventually, Izanami births the fire god, who then burns her vagina, so she can't have any more kids. And Izanagi, enraged that his child burned his wife's vagina, kills it, and then off of, like, its head comes some gods, and then, like, the blood from the blade become other gods, and then, like, its limbs run off into the water, and they become different gods. And then she gets sent to the underworld, and then Kit picks this up.
Yeah, so... The version that I read,
okay.
It's great. I love this shit. So Stan Sakai, who writes Usagi Yojimbo, his fucking great cartoons.
Yeah.
He retold all of this through like several series of comics because he had to explain basically where like this mythological artifacts and this one sword came from in Japanese history.
Yeah.
And so he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to tell the whole mythos. So I don't know how absolutely true to it, but like, I don't know, man. The guy does his research, and so I assume that he's telling a truthful tell of the Japanese creation story rather than some make-believe shit just for his universe.
Sure.
But, so essentially, like, Izanami, the female, gets like, she goes to the underworld and she's having like this kind of meeting with the Lord of the Underworld or whatever. And the whole deal is that Izanagi, her husband, isn't supposed to like come in for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Like he's not supposed to like intervene in this meeting, but it's taking like a long fucking time. And women are terrible. So he goes in there and like she's all rotted to hell. Like she's like a corpse pretty much, and like her countenance is just horrible. And so like because he came in early and because he saw her that way, like she sends all these demons to like go hunt him down. And it's like he's like running away. And so like he's like throwing boulders at him and like fucking trees and shit.
Yeah.
And eventually he gets to like the border between the like our realm and the like hell essentially, and he puts a giant fucking like boulder in the passageway or whatever, like blocks anything from getting to the other side or whatever. And she's like, she curses him and she's like, I'm gonna kill 1,000 living beings every day or whatever. And he's like, well then I'll just make 10,000 more get born. And then essentially the idea is that from then on, all of the gods just continue to like split into lesser and lesser gods.
Yeah.
Like if they die, their body parts become shit, or like if they bathe, the like filth off of them becomes god, like all kinds of shit like that.
It's all really dumb.
And so all of Japanese citizens are actually just descendant from these gods, but because you're so far removed from the original godhead or whatever, like your godly powers are like fucking trivial.
Yeah. I finally remember how it came up because the Shrine Maiden said something about the 8 million Japanese gods, and then we just like went off on that.
Yeah. So, which is absolutely true. You have a god for everything.
So it's actually not that germane to the show.
Yeah.
No. I thought this was going to blow my mind.
No.
It's just weird shit because Japanese mythology is strange.
So I totally, knowing all this, it didn't seem too awkward that they had this story about like holding a demon's head down as it burned them, and they I totally bought it. I was like, yeah, Japan, whatever, you go.
Yeah.
Because like all Japanese folklore is absurd like that. It's like so the god of hair knitting.
Most folklore is absurd.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna put a bow on this. What do you guys think about the show? Do you think it was worth watching? Is there anything we should watch instead of this?
I think it's absolutely worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely think that a Kit Maxwell Blood Sea viewing needs to be a thing. Because I am excited for when Maxwell describes a very particular scene and how that goes down and his reaction to it.
I get the feeling that Max really wouldn't like Blood Sea, but I love it for all the wrong reasons. Like, everybody else's response to Blood Sea is that they can't stand it.
Yeah.
But I give that show a solid, like, 9 out of 10.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
Well, guess what we're not reviewing right now, you dicks? What do you think of the show we watched?
Sora No Woto?
Yeah.
the show that's not Bloodseed, Sora No Woto. No, man, I thought it was worth a watch, if only because while being cute as shit, it actually like had kind of interesting like plots going on, and cool developments for characters. Really neat like self-contained stuff. Like I really like the Krauser character's kind of little arc that he had.
Yeah, he did have a good arc.
Like it's got like its pitfalls, but I mean, you know, it's a short show. You can watch it in the goddamn afternoon.
Yep.
Like, so you know, for that, I think it's pretty entertaining, and it manages to kind of keep me watching.
Alright. That's pretty good.
So yeah, if interested, go for it.
Yeah, the bottom line is I like it. I like it just fine. I think it's real cute. You know who hates the show? Eric.
Yeah.
Eric only liked the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. He hates this shit. But I like it, alright. I think it's cute. I did feel manipulated, but, you know, still pretty good. Still pretty good. There are still cute girls. There are still meditations on loss. And there were still big damn spider tanks, even if I didn't get to see any of them shoot bird monsters.
You did get to see them shoot stuff, though.
Maybe that's why I'm sour on it. You know, I just wanted to see someone shoot a fucking bird monster. Yeah. The whole time, it's like, they're gonna fix that tank, and they're gonna shoot a fucking bird monster from the past, and it's gonna be so rad. And then they stop a war. Lame as shit. They stop a war. God damn it! They didn't shoot one bird monster. Yeah, they play Amazing Grace. More apt ending, not as cool.
Yeah. Hey man, if you're a fan of Amazing Grace, this is the show for you.
Sure.
It is a 3-hour love letter.
Yeah.
To that song.
Yeah, really.
So I'm gonna give this episode a K-On! Out of Apocalypse Now.
All right. Yeah, I think that is an approximate rating for blah 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 blah. Oh God.
All right, that's it. When you say "Oh God," that's the end of the episode.
I'm pretty sure you said that earlier, but we'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh God.